back. What if I told you that love isn't something you find? It's something that chooses you over and over again, not for a moment, not for a phase, but every single day. Even when you're messy, imperfect, take it back, or hard to love. Because the truth is, you don't deserve a love that shows up only when it's easy. You deserve a love that stays when it's hard, that grows when life shifts, and that chooses you back, not just once, but always. Love that lasts isn't built on grand gestures or dramatic moments. It's built on the quiet, consistent decision to keep showing up. Every single day, it back. Love gives you the chance to choose the same person again, not because everything is perfect, but because it's worth it. Real love doesn't depend on the intensity of emotion that once sparked a connection, thrives on the daily act of nurturing that connection even when life gets heavy. It's about choosing to listen when it's easier to ignore, choosing to stay when it's tempting to run back, and choosing to care when you're tired. The truth is, emotions are fleeting, but commitment is not. You can't build a lasting relationship on excitement alone because excitement fades, but devotion grows. Get back. Love that chooses you every day is made up of small, deliberate actions that say, I'm still here, even when it's inconvenient. It's not glamorous. It's grounding. It's not always loud. Sometimes it's found in the quiet effort to keep choosing each other over and over again. So many people chase love as if it's a finish line, something to win, something to capture. But real love doesn't end when you find it. That's when the real work begins. Falling in love is easy. Staying in love requires effort, empathy, and courage. It's easy to show up when you feel adored, understood, or desired. It's harder to show up when you're misunderstood, when your flaws are exposed, it back, and when you're forced to face parts of yourself you'd rather hide. But that's where real love is tested, not in the beauty of connection, but in the weight of commitment. It back. The love that chooses you every day doesn't demand perfection. It embraces imperfection with patience and perspective. It's the kind of love that says, I see your mess, back, and I'm not going anywhere. That's not dependency. That's devotion rooted in respect and choice. Every relationship eventually arrives at a point where the initial spark begins to dim. That's the moment when love transforms from a feeling into a choice. The truth is, long-term love isn't about constantly chasing passion. It's about cultivating purpose. It back. It's about remembering why you chose each other in the first place, especially when things get tough. It's not about maintaining constant excitement, but about maintaining constant effort. Back. You deserve someone who doesn't need to be reminded to show up for you, who doesn't treat consistency like a chore, and who doesn't make you feel like their attention is conditional. Love that chooses you doesn't ask, what's in it for me? It asks, what can we build together? That shift from self-centered to team-centered love is what separates relationships that fade from those that flourish. Get back. We've been conditioned to believe love should always feel magical, but that's not real life. Real love often looks like early mornings and late nights, like honest conversations when you'd rather stay silent, back, like choosing forgiveness over resentment. It's the steady kind of love that shows up without needing applause. It's about waking up and deciding again and again, that you're my person. That decision might not always feel easy, but it's what gives love its strength. When both people make that choice to keep choosing each other through growth, change, back, and uncertainty, they create something rare. They create a bond that doesn't rely on constant reassurance, but on mutual trust and consistency. The love that chooses you every day won't always make your heart race, back, but it will give you peace. The kind of peace that can only exist when two people are truly committed. The love that endures isn't built on fantasy, it's built on fundamentals. Communication, respect, back, and alignment. It's easy to romanticize love as passion and chemistry, but passion without consistency burns out. You can't rely on emotion to sustain something that requires daily reinforcement. It back. It's not about grand promises made in the heat of the moment. It's about the follow through in the ordinary days that follow. The way someone speaks to you when they're angry, back. The way they prioritize you when they're busy. The way they make you feel safe even when life feels uncertain. That's what choosing looks like. Love that chooses you isn't afraid of hard conversations. Back. It embraces them because it knows avoidance leads to distance. It's not about always getting it right, but about being willing to make it right when things go wrong. When someone truly chooses you, it back. They don't just stay when it's easy. They stay when it's hard because they believe in what you're building together. They don't see challenges as signs to leave, but as invitations to deepen the bond. This kind of love doesn't operate from fear of losing. It operates from faith in staying. It's not transactional. It's transformational. When two people consciously choose each other, they stop asking, how do I get more? And start asking, how can I give more? That's where love matures in the shift from expectation to appreciation. Choosing someone daily means seeing their flaws, witnessing their growth, and still saying, you're worth it. It's a choice rooted in gratitude, not obligation. You can't experience love that chooses you if you're constantly running after love that only excites you. The truth is, consistency doesn't always look exciting, but it's the foundation of emotional safety. Back. The people who truly love you won't just make you feel special once in a while. They'll make you feel chosen even in the mundane. It's the text to check in, the effort to understand, back, the small gestures that whisper, You matter. When someone chooses you daily, it's not about grand words, it's about steady actions that align with care. They don't leave you wondering if you're enough because their presence affirms it. You stop chasing reassurance because their consistency speaks louder than any promise could. It back. And you deserve to be loved like that. You deserve a love that doesn't flinch when things get hard. You deserve a love that doesn't require you to perform, to prove, or to compete. It back. The kind of love that chooses you every day won't ask you to shrink to stay desirable. It will create space for you to expand and evolve. Tip back. You shouldn't have to beg for attention or question your value in someone's life. Real love isn't about convenience, it's about commitment. Trust myself to take it back. It's the choice someone makes when they decide that your presence adds meaning, not just excitement, to their life. You deserve a love that doesn't see you as a temporary thrill, but as a long-term priority. Back. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to stop settling for people who don't choose you back. Stop confusing effort for interest and stop mistaking attention for affection. Back. The right love won't keep you guessing. It will make you feel grounded. It won't keep disappearing and returning when it's convenient. It will remain through consistency. Choosing yourself means refusing to chase the kind of love that drains you and making room for the kind that nourishes you. When you learn to love yourself with patience, grace, and consistency back, you attract people who mirror that energy. The love that chooses you every day often begins with you choosing yourself every day to be worthy of love that lasts, not love that merely lingers. Back. When two people choose each other daily, they don't just build a relationship, they build a partnership. Back. A partnership that understands growth will change you both, and that's not something to fear, it's something to embrace. Each day is a new chance to recommit, to rebuild, and to re-choose each other in ways big and small. That's the beauty of lasting love. It's renewed through intention, not intensity. And when both hearts are anchored in that choice, it back. Love becomes less about possession and more about presence. It stops being about who wins and starts being about who stays. Because the strongest kind of love isn't found in grand beginnings, it's found in the quiet, consistent decision to keep choosing each other every single day. You teach people how to love you by the standards you set, the boundaries you hold, and the behavior you allow. Every time you tolerate disrespect, it back, inconsistency, or neglect, you send a silent message about what you're willing to accept. The love you receive is often a reflection of the love you believe you deserve, and if you keep accepting less, it's usually because deep down you've convinced yourself that less is all you can get. But the truth is, you deserve more. You always have. You deserve to be chosen without hesitation, back, to be respected without condition, and to be loved without confusion. You don't have to chase people who can't see your worth. You just have to stop waiting for them to change. Back. Love that chooses you starts with self-awareness, with knowing who you are and refusing to let anyone treat you as though you're forgettable. You can attract respect while living in self-doubt back, because people reflect back what you project. So many people think love will fix their insecurities, but it doesn't. It exposes them. When you haven't healed your relationship with yourself, get back. You'll end up confusing attachment with affection. You'll mistake attention for validation and chaos for passion. You'll think that being chosen once means you'll be chosen always, even when their actions prove otherwise. But the love that chooses you every day is never inconsistent. It's never conditional. It's not love when you have to earn it, prove it, or beg for it. Back. True love meets you where you are, not where you pretend to be. It's steady, it's safe, and it's mutual. You don't have to be perfect to deserve consistency. You just have to believe you're worthy of it. The moment you decide you deserve to be chosen fully, you stop accepting people who only choose you halfway. The way you love yourself sets the tone for how others love you. If you constantly criticize yourself, hit back. Apologize for existing, or shrink to make others comfortable, you're showing people that you don't value your own presence. And when you don't value yourself, no one else will either. Hit back. Love that chooses you doesn't come from pleasing others. It comes from protecting your peace. You can't attract what you don't believe you're worthy of. Back. That's why self-respect isn't arrogance. It's alignment. It's saying it back. I will no longer participate in connections that cost me my confidence. It's understanding that the wrong love will demand your silence, but the right one will celebrate your truth. It back. When you start choosing yourself with the same loyalty you give to others, you stop accepting love that comes with conditions. You stop negotiating your worth for someone else's comfort. Back. There comes a point in everyone's life when you realize that love without respect is just attachment, and attention without intention is manipulation. It's easy for someone to say they care, back, but words are worthless if they're not supported by consistent action. You deserve a love that shows up for you even when it's inconvenient, a love that remembers your needs, back, and a love that doesn't require you to remind them of your worth. When you accept crumbs, you send the message that crumbs are enough. When you chase people who keep leaving, back, you teach them that they can come and go without consequence. You have to stop romanticizing potential and start respecting reality, back, because someone who truly loves you doesn't make you beg for their effort. They offer it freely. The love that chooses you will never make you question if you're too much or not enough. Back. Choosing yourself means understanding that you are not hard to love. You've just been trying to be loved by people who don't know how to love deeply. The love that chooses you will never make you feel like a burden for having standards. It won't ask you to settle for emotional scraps or dim your light to keep the peace. When you raise your standards back, you don't lose people who matter, you lose people who never intended to meet you where you are. You stop mistaking temporary comfort for real connection and start prioritizing peace over proximity. At the moment you start treating yourself with kindness, confidence, and care, you'll see who truly values you. The right people won't be intimidated by your boundaries. They'll be drawn to them. Because people who truly choose you will respect the standards you've built to protect yourself. It's not selfish to expect consistency. It's self-respect back. You shouldn't have to question where you stand in someone's life if they truly value your presence. Love that chooses you communicates clearly, shows up regularly, and never makes you feel like an option. Take it back. If someone only loves you when it's easy, that's convenience, not commitment. The real test of love is how they treat you when it's hard, not when it's fun. At the right love won't gaslight you into silence or punish you for your emotions. It will hold space for your truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Back, because love isn't supposed to drain you, it's supposed to ground you. It should feel like peace, not performance. You deserve to stop over-explaining your worth to people who are committed to misunderstanding it. You deserve to be chosen without confusion or delay. Too many people wait for someone else to prove their value, but real power comes from proving it to yourself first. Back. You don't need to be picked by someone to feel complete. You need to choose yourself with conviction. When you stop chasing validation, you start attracting people who match your energy. You stop begging for consistency and start attracting those who give it naturally. You become less desperate and more discerning. You begin to recognize that not everyone deserves access to your time, energy, or heart. It back. When you move with self-respect, you stop confusing loneliness with peace and solitude with sadness. You begin to understand that being alone is not a punishment. It's preparation. Because when you learn to choose yourself, you'll never again accept love that requires you to lose yourself. Boundaries are not walls, they're filters. They don't keep people out. They keep your peace in. To take it back. The love that chooses you every day will never see your boundaries as a threat. It will see them as a guide. It will honor them because it knows they come from self-awareness, not insecurity. In fact, boundaries aren't about control. They're about clarity. They teach others how to treat you and remind you that respect is not negotiable. When you stand firm in your boundaries back, you create space for love that's honest, stable, and secure. You'll start to notice how those who were only benefiting from your lack of limits will drift away, and that's not loss. That's alignment. Take it back. Because the love that chooses you won't resist your growth. It will support it. It won't shrink from your truth. It will rise to meet it back. You deserve to experience a love that doesn't require you to constantly prove your worth. You deserve to be with someone who chooses you not just for who you are today, but for who you're becoming. It back. Someone who doesn't compete with your growth, but contributes to it. That kind of love won't punish you for having standards. It will admire you for having self-respect back. But that love only arrives when you stop settling for the kind that drains you. You must be willing to walk away from what feels familiar but isn't fulfilling. Because every time you choose yourself back, you set a new standard for what you allow into your life. You're teaching others that your heart is valuable, your time is sacred, and your love is not for sale. It back. The moment you believe you deserve a love that chooses you, you'll stop settling for one that only remembers you when it's convenient. The love that truly chooses you will never make you question your worth, your place, or your importance in someone's life. It won't create anxiety disguised as passion or confusion disguised as chemistry. When love is real, it feels steady, safe, and clear, not draining or chaotic. So many people grow up equating intensity with intimacy, believing that love must come with drama to mean something. But love that chooses you every day doesn't thrive in chaos, it thrives in calm. Back, it's not about constant emotional highs and lows, but about stability that feels like home. Real love isn't a storm that sweeps you off your feet, it's the foundation that keeps you grounded. Back, it brings you peace because it's not built on uncertainty. It's the kind of love where your nervous system relaxes instead of bracing for the next argument. It's easy to mistake emotional roller coasters for deep connection because society romanticizes dysfunction. We're taught that love should be unpredictable, fairy, and passionate even if it hurts. But peace doesn't mean boredom. It means safety. It means being with someone who listens to understand, not to respond. It means being in a space where your feelings aren't dismissed, back, where silence doesn't feel like punishment, and where communication isn't a power struggle. When love chooses you every day, it doesn't withdraw affection to teach lessons or play games to maintain control. It back. It doesn't keep you in a constant state of guessing your value. Instead, it shows up in truth, clarity, and consistency. You deserve a love that brings you security, not stress. A love that nurtures growth, back, not guilt. Because love should never leave you more exhausted than fulfilled. The love that chooses you will challenge you, but it will never harm you. It will hold you accountable in ways that help you grow back, not shame you into silence. You'll be encouraged to become a better version of yourself without being made to feel like you're never enough. It's the kind of love that helps you heal back, not one that keeps reopening old wounds. The right love doesn't thrive on power dynamics, it thrives on partnership. It doesn't make you compete for attention, affection, or validation. When someone truly loves you, they don't use your vulnerabilities against you. They protect them. They don't manipulate your emotions to control you. They care for them to support you. Real love makes you feel seen, not small. Back. It holds space for your flaws, your fears, and your feelings without making you feel like they're too heavy to carry. When you've been in toxic relationships, healthy love can feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable at first. You might find yourself waiting for the argument, the distance, or the disapproval because chaos feels like home. Back. But love that chooses you every day doesn't operate in cycles of instability, it stays. It shows up even when you push it away because it understands your fear of abandonment but refuses to feed it. Back. It's patient enough to let you unlearn your triggers and safe enough to help you build trust again. You begin to realize that love isn't supposed to hurt. It's supposed to heal. Back. You're not supposed to lose yourself to be loved. You're supposed to discover more of yourself within it. The right love won't demand your pain as proof of your loyalty. Back. It will protect your peace as proof of its care. That's the difference between attachment and alignment. Love that chooses you doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. Back. It doesn't always come with grand declarations or dramatic moments. It's often found in the quiet gestures that make you feel valued. It's the text that says, I'm thinking of you. It's the soft tone in a hard conversation. It's remembering what matters to you without being reminded. When love is genuine, it's consistent even when it's not convenient. You won't have to beg for attention or fight for effort. They'll show up not because they have to, but because they want to. That kind of love feels like exhale, like safety after chaos. Back. You don't have to perform to keep it, and you don't have to prove you're worthy of it. It's a love that meets you halfway and holds you fully without conditions or confusion. Back. There's a difference between being loved and being chosen. Being loved can be passive. Someone can love you and still not show up for you. But being chosen is active. It's a daily decision to prioritize, back, to nurture, and to protect the bond you share. Love that chooses you doesn't take you for granted. It takes responsibility for the impact it has on your heart. It's not about possession. It's about partnership. It's not about control, it's about care. You deserve someone who doesn't just say they love you, but proves it through consistent action. Someone who doesn't let their ego dictate how they treat you. Back. When you're chosen by someone who's emotionally mature, you never have to question if you matter, because their consistency speaks louder than any promise could. Back. People who confuse chaos for connection often end up trapped in cycles of uncertainty. They chase the high of reconciliation after pain because it feels like intensity, but it's really instability. Real love doesn't rely on constant crisis to feel alive. It grows in peace, it deepens through communication and mutual respect. Back. The kind of love that chooses you every day feels emotionally safe because it's not built on fear or manipulation. It's not about one person winning, it's about both people thriving. When love is safe, back, you stop being afraid of losing it, and that's where true intimacy begins. You start to open up more, trust more, and love more deeply because you finally feel seen without judgment. Back. That's the love that doesn't drain you. It fills you. A love that chooses you every day doesn't avoid conflict. It handles it with care. It understands that disagreement doesn't mean disconnection. Back. Instead of shutting down or lashing out, it seeks to understand and to heal. You're not punished for expressing your emotions. You're appreciated for your honesty. You're not walking on eggshells, but afraid of saying the wrong thing. You're walking in truth, knowing that both of you are committed to resolution, not revenge. Like that kind of love doesn't run at the first sign of discomfort because it's built on emotional maturity. It recognizes that peace isn't the absence of problems. It's the ability to face them with respect. Back. The love that chooses you sees conflict as an opportunity to grow together, not fall apart. That's how relationships evolve from fragile to unbreakable. When you find a love that feels like peace, back, it changes the way you see everything. You stop craving chaos because you finally understand that calm is not the absence of love. It's the presence of stability. Back, you stop settling for people who make you feel anxious just to feel wanted. You start realizing that love should feel like safety, not survival. Back. You begin to recognize that emotional availability is more powerful than emotional intensity. You crave partnership over possession, depth over drama, and clarity over confusion. Kit back. Because the love that chooses you every day will never make you question if you're enough. It will remind you that you always were. And that's what makes it real. The right love doesn't hold you back. It holds you accountable. It doesn't ask you to dim your light to make someone else comfortable. It pushes you to shine brighter because it believes in your potential. Back. You deserve a love that celebrates your evolution instead of fearing it, that grows alongside you instead of competing against you. When someone truly chooses you every day, back. They don't just admire your current self. They invest in your becoming. They see your growth not as a threat, but as an invitation to rise with you. The right love is not intimidated by your ambition, your strength, or your healing. It's inspired by it. It encourages you to stretch, to challenge your limits, to step into the best version of yourself. It's a love that asks, how can we both become better? Not, back. How can I keep you where I want you? Because real love evolves, it doesn't expire. Love that grows with you is grounded in freedom, not fear. It doesn't demand possession, it builds partnership. It allows space for individuality while maintaining connection. When someone truly loves you, they don't clip your wings. They teach you how to fly higher together. Back. Growth in love means there's no jealousy of each other's success, no resentment of each other's evolution. There's pride, admiration, and mutual respect. Back. It's understanding that your paths may sometimes stretch in different directions, but your hearts remain aligned in purpose. You deserve a love that claps for you when you win, that supports you when you fail. Back. And that never confuses your independence for disinterest. Real love doesn't shrink under the weight of growth, it strengthens through it. It learns, adapts, and keeps choosing you even as you change. Back. In relationships that don't grow, love often turns into control. One person starts trying to contain what was never meant to be contained. The other's individuality, energy, or dreams. Back. But love that chooses you every day doesn't operate from control, it operates from trust. It knows that real commitment isn't about ownership, but about choice. When you love someone back, you don't chain them to who they were, you walk beside them as they evolve. You allow room for mistakes, transformation, and reinvention. You support the version of them that is still becoming. Because the truth is, growth will always test love. It reveals whether it's rooted in security or insecurity. It back. The love that chooses you embraces your evolution because it's secure enough to know that growth only deepens connection when both people are willing to evolve together. Back. The love that grows with you understands that change is inevitable, and instead of resisting it, it adapts to it. Life doesn't stand still, and neither should love. When two people are committed to becoming their best selves, the relationship becomes a space for transformation rather than tension. You both keep learning each other as you change emotionally, mentally, back, spiritually. That's what makes the connection vibrant, alive, and real. Love that chooses you isn't nostalgic for who you were when you first met. It's excited for who you're both becoming now. It's a continuous discovery, a never-ending curiosity about each other's inner worlds. The right love doesn't fear that growth will pull you apart. Back, it trusts that growth will build a deeper bond. One based not on sameness, but on shared evolution. You deserve a love that doesn't flinch when life gets complicated. A love that doesn't run when things become difficult or uncomfortable. The right love stays grounded even when the world around you shifts. It doesn't vanish in moments of uncertainty. Back. It becomes the anchor that keeps you steady. This kind of love doesn't need perfection. It needs presence. It's about showing up on the hard days with the same consistency as the good ones. Back. Growth isn't always beautiful. Sometimes it's messy, uncomfortable, and painful. But love that chooses you every day doesn't disappear when you're not at your best. It chooses to understand, to support back, and to believe in the person you're becoming. It's a love that says, I'm with you through this process, not call me when you're healed. That's what makes it rare. It stays through transformation. When two people commit to growing together, they create something extraordinary. They stop keeping score and start keeping promises. They don't weaponize vulnerability, they respect it. Back. They don't measure love in grand gestures, but in daily actions of care, understanding, and patience. Growth together requires honesty, the courage to say, this isn't working, without fear of rejection, back, and the humility to ask, how can we make it better? Love that chooses you daily is intentional. It doesn't leave things to chance. It's conscious effort, not just to maintain the relationship, but to deepen it. It recognizes that every stage of life brings new challenges and new versions of each person. And instead of fighting those changes, back. Real love embraces them with curiosity and compassion. It's in that shared effort that love becomes something lasting. The beauty of a love that grows with you is that it doesn't just focus on harmony. Back, it values honesty. You can disagree without disconnecting, argue without disrespecting, and express pain without fear. Love that chooses you creates a safe space for truth. Back. It allows you to be fully seen, your insecurities, your dreams, your doubts, your growth. It's not about pretending everything is fine. It's about being brave enough to face what's not. When both people can be real without fear of being rejected, love deepens. Because authenticity is the soil where connection grows. Pretending to be perfect only creates distance. Being real creates intimacy. Take it back. The love that grows with you understands that truth is more valuable than comfort. It doesn't need everything to be easy. It just needs everything to be honest. You deserve a love that chooses to evolve with you back, not one that punishes you for changing. You're not meant to stay the same person forever, and neither is the person you love. Growth is not a threat. It's proof that you're alive. Back. The love that chooses you every day will hold your hand through that change, learning you all over again instead of clinging to who you used to be. That's what makes it powerful. It's not stagnant, it's fluid. Back, it breathes, it bends, and it adapts. You both learn how to love differently as life demands it. Deeper, wiser, and softer. That kind of love doesn't fade with time, it matures. Back, it becomes richer because it's been tested and it's still choosing you, still believing in you, still walking beside you through every chapter of your evolution. Because at its core, back, love that chooses you every day is not about permanence. It's about presence. It's not about forever being guaranteed. It's about today being intentional. You can't predict every season of life back, but you can choose how you show up in each one. The right love meets you there, in the now, committed, conscious, and kind. It doesn't promise to never change. It promises to change with you back. That's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it real. You deserve that kind of love, one that grows through time, not away from it. A love that doesn't just say, I'm here, but proves it in every word, back every choice, every season. A love that chooses you, not because it has to, but because it wants to. And when you find that, you don't just experience love, you experience partnership, peace, and purpose all at once.